Yeah, I played Final Fight.
Whoa, David.
My friend.
I don't know why. That
This
one
is
really...
throwing you for a loop.
Oh my god, I don't know why. That's a very regular video game to play. June 20th is when summer fully starts.
Nah, it's summer.
For all you podheads who have been listening for a while, don't worry. There's still time for us to try and make the spring spirit of Podtimism something funny. I don't have any good ideas for how to do that yet. But maybe it'll happen between now and like 2 to 3 weeks from now.
Who knows? Don't hold your breath, but maybe.
Maybe it's coming. Maybe there's a really good joke hidden behind that conceit that we made like a year ago. I'm more than willing to bring back the summer spirit of Podtimism because I certainly do feel it.
He's coming.
Yeah.
He's right around the corner.
Yeah. But I don't know. We made a lot of lofty promises with who the spring spirit of Podtimism is. There's a lot of deep lore surrounding them. So I don't know.
What's the lore?
Let's see. So they were kind of a weirdo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. And then I also think that I admitted to dating them for a while. That was part of the lore.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily know how to deliver on that on that promise. But maybe. Maybe. Anyway, so speaking of under-delivered promises, hey, it's Video Game Podtimism. It's the Optimists video game variety show where two best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming. My name is Chase, and I like it hot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. My name is David, and I also like it hot.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, just two sack boys who like it hot.
I feel like the heat does something to my podcasting ability. I may have mentioned this before, but I feel like it just sort of like it challenges me. It's like a harrowing experience. It's not comfortable, but like I feel like I have to give it my all. And then when I walk out of here, I'm just a husk of a podcasted man.
A husk of a podcasted man?
Sweaty and out of jokes and video game content.
You just go into your bed and cocoon yourself. Be like, I must regain my energy for the podcast next week.
Now
I'm
rest.
all dry of jokes. I must rest for 1 week to formulate some more.
If this is the best I can do on a weekly basis, that seems to be a bit of a bummer. Like the best jokes I can pull out. Oh, I've been resting for a week. I've got some really good ones this week.
Count Jocula in here. You know how it is. I think it was funnier, your reaction to that joke, than the actual joke itself. You seemed very pleased by that one.
Count Jocula kind of tickled me in a place that I was not expecting.
Oh, where on your body was that tickle?
My joke gland. It's hard to reach.
Where is that?
I'll never tell.
Oh, so it's different on everybody?
Yeah. More deep lore.
Yeah. Chase, on one day on the Video Game Podtimism specific wiki, Chase's joke gland will have its own its own page.
Entry, yeah.
A dark, dark recess of the internet, truly.
Hey, video games. Have you been playing any David recently?
Yeah, they have. They've been playing me. It's true.
Which Davids?
Which Davids? Final Fight.
You played Final Fight?
Yeah, I played Final Fight.
Whoa, David.
My friend.
I don't know why. That
this
one really
is throwing you for a loop.
Oh my god, I don't know why. That's a very regular video game to play, but it's just very taken off guard by
I don't know which one it was. I think it was like 2 or 3 or something like that. If there's
That's
2 or
fine.
3.
Whoa,
but
okay,
my
sure.
friend, he hacked his SNES Classic.
Real gamer.
Real gamer. I'm gonna have to do it because he got a bunch of games on there. One of them should have been on there originally. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, I played some Final Fight. I was the big Russian wrestler guy.
Absolutely. That is my Final Fight experience is the big boy.
I was just grabbing bros and like jumping into the air and pile driving them, like suplexing them.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Doing my little spinning helicopter fist attack. Great.
Another one.
Top game. Really fun.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
fun to just play through with a buddy. So that was great. And that was really good.
Yes.
Still playing Hades. Still playing Hades.
I feel like there needs to be like a gothic organ behind you as you say that.
Pretty much.
Still playing Hades.
It just pops in like that subtle gent like twang of the Hades guitar every now and then when you're just wandering around.
Yeah.
Goom, goom. Just breaking some pots, looking for some gold.
Yeah, true.
Hades is still so good.
It's a good video game.
Talked to another guy who had played it recently, and he was asking me like how far I'd gotten in the game. I told him like, oh, I rolled credits.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, so you're like not far at all. And I'm like, oh God. He's like, you still got like 600 hours of content. I'm like, what? Excuse me?
You may have been talking to Hades himself. That is in fact a lot of Hades.
I feel like I am the video game equivalent of Sisyphus at this point.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I just keep rolling this game up until the end, and then I just fall back down, and there's still just more to do.
Does that make me boldy in this case?
Are you the boulder? I mean, you're the one who burdened me with this.
Yeah, true. Sorry.
So you could be the boulder.
I'm Boldy.
Boldy the boulder?
Mm-hmm.
That's a kid's story right there.
Have you not talked to the boulder in Hades?
You're fucking with me.
I'm not.
You can talk to the boulder?
Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't done this yet.
No, dude.
Yeah.
You can talk to Sisyphus's boulder.
Boulder. His name is Boldy.
This is bullshit.
It's not.
This is bullshit. You're God. No, dude. Don't tell me this.
Look, he's a character. You can talk to Boldy. You can give him nectar.
You can give Boldy his nectar?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God, dude. My mind is blown right now. What?
My mind is bold right now.
Sisyphus relations. Sisyphus. Parentheses bestie.
He never says anything back. Like, it's not like you're having a conversation, but he is.
So you're just talking
a character.
to a boulder.
Yes, but you can give him nectar.
And does he give you something back? Does he give you like a little, what is it, a keepsake?
Eventually, there is a thing that he will do. I won't spoil it.
What the fuck? Okay, is there anything else I should be talking to that's inanimate?
I think Boldy's the big one. Oh man, I'm so glad you haven't done this yet.
I never thought to talk to the boulder.
Yeah.
I just talk to Sisyphus, grab my stuff, and leave. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. I got places to be. I got dads to kill.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I'm so glad we got this on mic. That's a real treat.
That is this game's fucking got it all, man. You can talk to a boulder. My God. What is it? Donkey from Shrek. Look at that boulder. That is an
actual nice boulder. Yeah.
God. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then I've been playing 2 other games.
Okay.
But I just played their demos. So does this count?
My instinct is yes. Do you have any intention of playing any more of the games other than the demos?
Well, right now I can't remember what one of the demos was even. So probably
that's a good
not
start.
that one. But the other one was Fenyx, Immortals Rising.
Yes. Tell me about this game. I always sort of side-eyedly glance at this video game out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, same. I've heard a lot of good things about the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a demo on the PlayStation Store. So I downloaded it. It's interesting. It definitely is kind of like a Breath of the Wild knockoff, but decent still. Like has some interesting combat, and like the world is portrayed well. It's an interesting art style. The combat felt good. Yeah. Right. So, not very challenging, but like challenging enough. But yeah, it's just interesting game. And I definitely feel like there's a lot of depth and different like weapons and power-ups you can get that would definitely change how you play. So I was kind of surprised by that one. So I was playing that one last night.
That's by the same folks who did, I think, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like a lot of the same
I was about to say
people
it's
who
Ubisoft.
worked on that. Yeah. And so I think like initially I was really excited for it. I'm not sure if it's just because like I was playing a lot of Odyssey at the time, but I was like, oh, this looks really great. And then just for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it was the marketing or just the reviews of the game, didn't end up playing it. And like obviously Ubisoft is like kind of a dumpster fire right now, so I'm a little reluctant to support them in general, but like it is, I don't know, it is interesting just to like talk about the game itself.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it was fun. I thought it was good. I definitely could see like if I wanted to invest time in that game that I could definitely get sucked into it pretty bad.
Sure.
With those open world games, I really have to feel like I have the time to invest in it at this point, because they're all just so expansive that I just don't feel like I get like the full experience unless I just dive head first into it and just immerse myself in it for like a good month or so. So I mean, it'll definitely be on my radar if or when my reserve of games ever dries up. I'll give this one a shot, but I don't think I'm going to go back and play it right away. It didn't wow me that much. But then I also I remember the other one now. Ghostrunner.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, we talked about that last time,
a week or two ago. Yeah, we did, because we were talking about Turok and like the third person or the first person sort of like platforming being a thing.
Yeah, also has a demo on the PlayStation Store.
Nice. What'd you think of it?
Very fun. Very fluid. Honestly, kind of reminded me of like a first-person Enter the Matrix in a way, which is kind of weird to say, but without the gunplay, just like swords. Yeah. Just kind of the way that you run on the walls and how easy it is to run on the walls reminded me of that for some reason. But definitely fun. Very fluid. Controls got a little finicky sometimes. Yeah. Because I don't know how well calibrated it is for a controller, like a console controller, as opposed to like a mouse sensitivity level, but definitely fun. I could see myself playing that over a weekend and getting pretty obsessed. Nice. But it was pretty, it was good. Definitely enjoyable. Definitely if you like that kind of free-flowing combat and kind of being artistic about what you do, this is definitely a game for you. And also difficult because it's a one shot and you're dead, which I appreciate, actually. It makes it feel more realistic and like the stakes are always high, which is nice.
From the trailers that I saw, it kind of looked like it played a little bit like a Meat Boy or a Celeste or something like that, where like the checkpoints are frequent, and then if you like fuck something up, it just immediately spawns you back at wherever the last point was.
Yeah, no waiting. You just go right back in and you're ready. So I love those kind of games. I can't stand like a long load time between a death and coming back. It's one of the things that it's a gamer pet peeve of mine, I guess you would say.
Gaming pet peeve.
David's gaming pet peeve of the week.
Yeah, so it's really nice that it just gives you, it doesn't punish you for failing. It rewards you for experimenting and trying different things, which is my preferred way to play games usually. Yeah. So this one, I think it was probably one that I would more look at getting eventually.
Yeah, I think it's, if I understand, I don't know that I did a ton of research on this, but I feel like it's like kind of an indie game almost. Like it's like not made by a huge company.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a ton of people working on it. So it is kind of cool that like they were able to take this like idea and turn it into something that is really cool. Like I feel like that the type of game that we're describing, the sort of Celeste or Meat Boy type game, is really common in 2D and sort of this like kind of, pixel style game. And so it's impressive to see it done when it's like this full-fledged 3D sort of experience.
Yeah, it's great.
And still adhere to those like design ideas of like, let's make something challenging, but not repetitive. Just like try each little challenge. The game is mostly just these little micro challenges that you have to figure out.
Exactly, like a Shovel Knight or something like that. Shovel Knight's a little bit more unforgiving, but similar. Yeah, but yeah. So if you ever want, if it really does make you feel like a ninja assassin badass pretty well, if you like get through a level just doing everything you wanted to do and just killing the guards the way you wanted to do it, feels real good. Feels real good when you execute everything.
Katana Zero and like Hotline Miami are the other ones that came to mind. It's great. It's good stuff. Those are cool games. I like that.
Yeah. And what about you, sir? Have you been playing any videojuegos?
Why, yes, I have, David. I've been playing video games.
Wow. Shocking. And now on to the next segment. We're done.
And we're done. Goodbye. We're on Twitter. I have been playing a similar sort of mashup since last time. Still playing Mass Effect. Still a phenomenal video game.
Are you on 2 or 3 now?
I am still on 2. I am taking a little bit longer with 2.
So good.
It's so very good. This video game.
God, I want to top tier.
It's so good. I don't know. I'm not sure if I just like undersold my own memory of it, but it's so phenomenal. I've done most of the like loyalty missions for the team members. There's like one other person I've yet to recruit. I think I know who it is, but I honestly don't remember. Like I'm realizing my memory of these games is so skewed and like I don't really remember what happened in what game. So we'll see if it's who I think it is. I thought like the mission where you go with Tali to the pilgrimage fleet was in 3, but apparently that's in 2. Which is a very good mission. God, I love all of that. I also just got through recruiting and doing the loyalty mission for Justicar Samara.
Oh man.
The
original Lady D.
Pretty much, yeah. Big, strong space lady.
Big, strong space lady who will just kill you on the spot if she deems it necessary.
I'm gonna sort of admit my chuddery from the past here again. I just did not understand her backstory when I was playing this the first time.
Her backstory was so cool.
She's so cool. She's so cool. Like Asari enforcer. Like, I am committed to the code of the Asari, and that's my whole fucking deal. I'm like a biotic super soldier.
Yeah.
And I'm just going out handing out fucking justice, which is like a little bit against maybe the rule of law, but like for a sci-fi game, holy shit, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
She's like fairly aged, I think. I don't know her exact age.
For an Asari, she's pretty old.
Yeah. Because she talks about
really
things
old for a human.
Yeah, I want to see just how old she is, because she talks about stuff in the past that's like, oh, this happened like hundreds of years ago or something like that.
I just love the lifespan of the Asari.
It's really cool. So the official site says that she is 600 years old, but in one of the dialogues, she says she's around 1,000, which is fucking nuts.
Damn.
Which is interesting, and like she acts really like comparatively to humans very weird. Like she just goes and like is very detached from her own emotions, and like on the Normandy, the place that she like hangs out is just in the port observation bay, which is just this big window of space where she's just like always meditating in there and just waiting.
That part, she has a pretty badass room. It's just like
it's
nothing.
So cool. Yeah. And like really fun to just imagine like what it must be like to live for 600 years and how that affects a person, or I guess like sentient life in this case.
Right.
Oh god, the like mission where you recruit her, you roll up on this like crime scene essentially, and she's trying to like find this person who's like incredibly dangerous. And she doesn't really say what's going on there, but there's like obviously the local police force. I think this is on Ilium, which is like an Asari planet that's like very much bright and flashy, but also is definitely like, if you have money, you do well, and if you don't, it's like fucked and very dangerous. And so like she's trying to solve this thing, but then there's like the police force that's also there trying to figure this out too. And the like local officer, another Asari, comes over and she's like, hey, I like have to arrest you. You're like really interfering with this like crime scene. And Samara's like, okay, well, my code says that like I'll be able to do that for a day. Like I'll come stay with you for a day. And then she's like, okay, well, I think Shepard asks like, what happens after that? And Samara's like, I leave. And then the officer's like, well, we can't let you do that. And Samara's like, you don't have a choice. I'm going to fucking leave whether or not you want me to. Like, I'm just going to tear the place down if you don't let. Yeah, like, it's so by the books and terrifying. Like, especially after she just like wipes people out.
Yeah. She's like, it's not a question.
No,
like,
she will leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving. So this is what it says. I'm just following the book.
Yeah. And so like that whole quest of recruiting her is just solving that mystery so that she herself can leave before just like she just erupts and destroys the place. When you like go back and talk to her, she's just like meditating in a corner somewhere. Like, oh no, it's fine. I'll either be out here tomorrow or, or not. Yeah. It's just so nuts. So I have found, I remembered her being a lot more just like of a terrifying force in my first playthrough.
You're not wrong.
She is, but I think like her character is much more interesting to me this go round.
You got some lore knowledge in you, Chase. I love it.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm definitely absorbing more of this game than I normally do. Hold on, I want to see what Ardak actually means. A demon of the night winds is what it means in Asari. So fucking
That's
cool.
So cool.
Oh my god.
Demon of the night winds. I couldn't think of that shit. That's so cool. Such an interesting character.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff. I don't know. I just like wasn't able to absorb nearly as well the first time, and so like I find her character really, really interesting this time, and a lot less of just like a scary Asari woman. I will say that I don't know if you remember this, but in the first one, like things aren't all that cheesy in the first one. There's like some weird dialogue lines, but like in the second one, whenever you're fighting, you're like your teammates are always like barking out like stuff that's happening.
Really?
So goofy. Like,
yeah.
they're always saying something really ridiculous, especially Garrus. Garrus is just like talking throughout the whole fucking thing. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just so weird to hear like this guy who's like struggling with like his relationship with being like maybe a space cop in the first one. And then every time he shoots someone, he just barks out, "Scoped and dropped," whenever he shoots somebody.
That Ludo narrative dissonance popping out right there. A
little bit. Well, I don't know. Maybe Garrus might actually enjoy it. So it's definitely part of it. It's just really goofy. It's just very
maybe he's just maybe he's just a little bipolar. Who knows?
Yeah. Also, there's every now and then, if you're playing a shepherd, like whenever she like gets an item or a weapon, she says, "I'll take it." And like sometimes that happens after a very narratively intense moment. Mm-hmm. Like I got done with Tolly's side mission where like shit almost broke so bad, and like Tolly almost got exiled, and they gave me like a weapon upgrade. And the very moment they come out of a cutscene, Shepard's like, "I'll take it," and that was sort of the entrance back into the video game. There's just weird little things like that definitely don't distract from it, but is very goofy and funny.
Yeah.
Mass Effect. Again, it's a lot. I am also playing a video game called Pathway, David.
Chase's indie pick of the week?
I think it is. I think this constitutes the indie pick of the week. Pathway is a game that is published by Chucklefish. Big fan of the folks over at Chucklefish.
What else do they do?
Chucklefish has also done, I think the first one that I noted was Stardew Valley. That's a big Chucklefish.
I've heard this name before.
It's a publishing company. I think they also do some development, but they have a lot of games under their umbrella. They also did... Ooh, Time Spinner looks good. What the fuck is that? Stardew Valley is a big one. Starbound is another great one. Wargroove is a good one. Just a lot of good games. And pretty much anytime they come out with something, I'm kind of like, okay. There's a game coming out called Witchbrook, which I am so excited about.
Witchbrook.
It looks like magical Stardew Valley, which I am very into.
Okay.
I am also looking at this game on their website called Time Spinner, which looks a lot like a Castlevania game, and it looks fucking good. This out?
It looks freaking good.
Release
It's a good
date.
name.
Yeah, very good.
Spinner.
This has been out for a couple of years. This will probably be my indie pick of next week, if I'm being honest.
Indie pick of the future.
So, I'm playing Pathway. This is a game that plays a lot, something between the love child of FTL and XCOM. You are like, you pick, and a little bit like Into the Breach too, I'll say. You pick like a team of people, and you like sort of unlock more as you play more of the game, and you are crossing a desert in like these sort of nodes that look a lot like an FTL map.
Sure.
And some of them, they'll all contain some kind of event, like, oh, there's nothing here, or hey, there's a bunch of Nazis that you should shoot, or there is a cool little old temple that you should wander into. It's all like very Indiana Jonesy in its like kind of tone and flavor.
Yeah.
Which is all pretty good. It's also in like the combat, it's very XCOM-y. Cover and shooting are all kind of feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Or the Mario and the Rabbids crossover game from whatever year that was. Plays a little bit like that, but it's pretty good. The combat feels pretty good. It's like it takes a second to kind of learn it. It plays a little bit differently than the other ones, but it's pretty satisfying and fun once you get the hang of it. I'm a huge sucker for FTL, so like anything in that world is good by me. This had just come out on Switch, which is why I picked it up. I went on vacation for the first time in a long time. Went back home, and I needed a couple of Switch games. The next one I will talk about in a moment, but I picked this one up. It's a great addition to the Switch because like you can literally just play like one segment at a time. Like this one little node, and then you go to the next one, you play that, and then you put your Switch in rest mode, and you come back to it half an hour later or whatever. And so all of that just feels very satisfying and good. What else do I want to say about this game? I haven't gotten like to the end yet, and so I am interested in kind of how this game plays out, but I do like that the way that the kind of difficulty and levels are structured is such that you'll run through like the first like quote unquote level is like a whole map, and once you beat that, you unlock the next one. It's a little bit harder rather than like where FTL is like beat the game right now.
Yeah.
And like it's so hard to finish that that it becomes
too much of me.
Yeah, it's a lot. And there's like some meta progress with FTL, and like I don't think either of these are wrong or good either way, but it is kind of fun to be able to have this like sense of achievement of like beating the first level, go to the next one. You can kind of level your dudes up, which stays, progressed each time. And so yeah, I think it's pretty fucking good.
Nice.
I'm interested to see kind of how this lands, in a couple of months to see like, does this have staying power with me? But
yeah,
I mean, so far it's really fun.
The
if
next
you like
Slay the Spire, maybe.
A little bit. I think it's probably a little bit less replayable, I would say, than Slay the Spire, just because each one of those runs feels so specific. And I'm also just like, so into Slay the Spire. So I just love that game. It's hard to top for me, but it's still very good. I was like kind of seeing some reviews that were a little bit middle of the road, and I think like some of those are, valid criticisms, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And then the final game that I've been playing, David.
Yes.
It's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Whoa.
Yes, my
wow. Because you were on vacation, you had your Switch, you're just like, might as well play Breath of the Wild.
It's like, whenever I am gearing up to go on a flight, Breath of the Wild is just like a very nice, calming sensation. I'm
for your flight anxiety?
Yeah, I've got some noted flight anxiety, which is
that's
like,
real.
It's gotten a little bit better over time, but like still not phenomenal. But the nice dulcet tones of Hyrule is just such a nice way to calm me down, chill me out. And it's been a little while since I've played this as well. Like I played it on the Wii U, I think, like that year when it came out. And then I played most of it again on the Switch, probably a handful of years ago. And then, this is probably my third time playing it. It's such a fucking phenomenal video game.
It really is.
Oh my God.
Really, really is.
I the first thing that I was like struck by is how good the controls feel. I kind of forgot about that. That like everything
good controls were granted a lot of the times.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what the deal is, or if I've just been playing a lot of like older games recently where like controls were not a given.
Yeah.
But man, it just feels fucking phenomenal. Like every button is mapped to what I want it to be. Like that all feels good. The attacks feel good. The jumping feels good. The rolling and sprinting all feel good. It just feels very tight, and I'm rarely fucking up in a way that I don't expect to.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh God, it's so phenomenal. And like, not to mention, I was kind of pulling it up and I was like, all right, I'll kick this around, see, just kind of play with it. You're in the game within like a minute. It's so incredible just how quickly they get you in there.
Gets you in there quick, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And like, I think the plateau is such a good way to tutorialize something where like in Skyward Sword, it takes so long to tell you what to do in the video game. And they're like, no, just like, here's your zone, go fuck around. There are multiple solutions to any of these challenges we've given you. Go figure it out. Like
they really do the introductory level very well in Breath of the Wild.
My God, they give you like almost everything you're gonna need for the game. Like they give you all the little powers. I think save like one of them until sort of the end. They like introduce you to temperature being something that you have to monitor. They like show you there's some bad guys that are gonna come attack you sometimes, and show you where they like camp and live. And sometimes there's a chest there that if you fight them, that'll open up. Or that there's these big, scary old monsters that will come alive sometimes and shoot laser beams at you.
Just shoot some laser beams.
Like all of that happens within the first like half an hour. And then it's like, okay, now we're just going to explode this concept out into like this gigantic map. And it's like, go have fun.
Okay, here's the glider. Bye.
See ya. Oh my God. Just like it makes you feel so empowered so quickly.
It does, yeah.
And like, I'm somebody who I've noticed in games that give you an extreme amount of options, sometimes I can get pretty overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, I think playing through Divinity feels a little bit overwhelming to me sometimes, just because I'm like, there's a lot to do here.
Just got to play with me, baby.
I think so. Or even Disco Elysium, I felt the same way of like, there is so much here and so many ways to approach a situation that I almost feel like I don't know what I should or could be doing. And like, maybe that's just too much for me right now.
Sure.
And kind of on the other end of that, with something like Mass Effect, they give you like 2 or 3 choices in any given situation. And that's nice for me.
Streamlined.
Yeah, exactly. And so like when something like Breath of the Wild approaches you and it's like, hey, whole world is out there, that could feel pretty intimidating. But yeah. I think like the first time that you're just like, oh, I wonder what's over there. And then you go and like look at it and you're like, oh, there's something over here. This was cool. I'm glad I came here.
Really just is so good at rewarding you for curiosity.
Yeah.
So good.
In a way that I think feels very freeing and opens the game up, whereas like some of the like choice paralysis that I feel in other games is kind of tougher to overcome.
Yeah.
God, it's so fucking good and still feels very unmatched. Like I was playing through it and I'm like, this could have easily come out in 2021 and been like a game of the year contender for everybody, right? Like it's just still so good.
Top of the line.
Yeah. I had watched, was it the like state of play the other day where they talked about Horizon? And I was noticing that some people were, noticing that they put in like a grappling hook and a glider into it, which looks great and very cool. I was
stoked on it.
I am too. I'm notably very excited. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Twitter was essentially like, it's interesting that the glider is something that most games have taken from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Whereas like the glider is not necessarily the thing that makes it cool. It is the unbridled sense of exploration and rewarding the player for just like wandering around.
Yeah.
And like, I totally agree with that like that's what makes Breath of the Wild special to me. And like the glider's great. Don't get me wrong. It feels phenomenal to just like soar over a part of the map. But yeah, I think like you're kind of in that case, you might be missing the forest from the trees of like, it feels good in Breath of the Wild to just like kind of let your mind go and do whatever, versus like the glider feels good, which it does. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's not a bad inclusion at all.
Yeah. The appeal of Breath of the Wild is deeper than just the glider is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing a lot of it. I already have, but like it's so good. It's such a good video game.
It is so good.
Anyway, this will bring me to my Podtimistic thing of the week, David. It's a retro video game store, David.
Ooh, video game store?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Love it. I was in Sacramento over the weekend, and there was a new retro video game store.
Someone else was telling me about this.
On J Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sacramento J Street, shout out. Where you at? Stand up, Sacramento, represent.
One Up Retro Video Games. Direct shout out. There is a new retro game store that opened up in downtown Sacramento, which I visited with one Garen, friend of the show.
Ooh,
friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Garen.
We were like driving around down there and I was like, ooh, I saw that place the other day. I want to go. And he's like, we're going. And then just pulled over and we went inside. Love a retro video game store, David. Just absolutely the best. I'm also a purveyor of Fair Game in Sacramento. It's a good store.
Fair Oaks?
Fair Oaks, yeah. It's odd that this is such a specific thing. Like I know other people in other cities who are like, yeah, the retro game store. It's all sort of a similar model of like,
there's always one.
There's always one. Here's some new games and then a bunch of other stuff that is also very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to see how much Chrono Trigger costs in 2021?
Is it
it's
a
right
lot?
There. It's probably a lot. It always has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a nice environment. Like it's kind of what I always wanted GameStop to be.
Sure.
You walk into a GameStop and you're kind of hoping like this is a place for like people who are really into this thing. And like, mileage may vary on given GameStop.
Are you trying to bring down the price of GameStop right now, Chase?
I've got shorts against GME, so please no.
Classic hedge fund Chase.
It's just me, big video game, trying to shut down GameStop. So yeah, no, mileage may vary. Like it's kind of very dependent on your people, and so is anything with retro game stores. But I've had better luck with retro game stores where it's like usually the people in it are pretty nice and pretty friendly, and like you can kind of just go in there and shoot the shit and talk about whatever video game you're kind of looking for, what you're trying to get out of it. I've also had very good luck of like, I wonder if I could find this very specific game for like the N64 or the DS. I saw Iggy's Wrecking Balls in One Up Games.
Oh, shout out to our last episode, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah, it was.
Last episode? Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just like the vibe. I love how it feels in there. Not to be a creep, I love how it smells in a retro video game store.
Does it have a specific smell?
Kinda.
What's it smell like?
Old tech, old video games.
What? It's like how can you get more in depth?
It smells like if a library was filled with discs instead of books. It's got a little bit of age to it. A little must. Not necessarily a bad must, but a little must. Collector's items have been gathered in this space, and that's sort of what it smells like.
Okay.
Not a bad thing. Just like it's got a nice
video game
nice
antiquities.
Aroma. Yes, David.
Wait, so did you get anything?
I tried to see if they had Advanced War Days of Ruin. They did not, so I did not purchase anything. But I will say, this is as somebody with a little sprinkle of social anxiety. I always feel bad going into a place and not purchasing something, like I've somehow wasted their time by my entering the building.
Sure.
And I asked them. They said, "No, we don't have that." And I was like, "Okay, well, thanks anyway." They said, "Yeah, no worries. Have a good day." I'm like, "Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving me permission to leave this place without feeling guilty." So yeah, love a retro game store. Hell yeah. David, do you have anything fueling your sense of podtimism this week?
I do.
What is it?
Game demos.
Game demos. You're right. Holy shit. I can't believe we haven't talked about this one before.
I didn't realize how much I missed a good game demo until this past week where I played 2 good ones. I'm like, man, this is really whetting my appetite for this game. I'm not going to buy it right now, but I'll probably get it in the future at some point. Like, why don't we do more game demos nowadays? Especially when there's like $70 games nowadays. At least give me like the first level. Give me like a taste of what it is that I'm buying. Because God knows I can't return this if I don't like it nowadays if I buy it digitally. And
it is surprising that there's not more of them. There are game demos sometimes, but it's not a widespread thing by any measure.
Yeah. I'm like, no, don't like give me like the whole thing. You can give me just a little bit, just a taste, just to see if I like it. Just want to wet my whistle, exactly. But yeah, I just love game demos, and it just made me think about how fun those like game demo discs you would get in the mail from like
so good
PlayStation Magazine, Game Informer, Game Pro, any of those magazines that it would just come with.
Yep.
Oh, so good. So good.
Video games are really in with magazines for a little while there.
It was how they got their point across. It was how they marketed themselves, was those game magazines.
It feels like such an analog solution now. Like shipping a full fucking disc with every print magazine. It feels silly, but it definitely did. Do you have like a quintessential demo memory? Like, are you thinking of a demo when you say demo disc?
Killzone.
Killzone, okay.
The original Halo killer. I played that demo.
Halo killed.
Halo
killed by Killzone.
Killed by Killzone. I remember playing that demo so many times, such a little Sony fanboy, like trying to love it.
Please be good.
And just like convincing myself that this was going to be good, and it just wasn't good when it came out.
Podtimistically, still kind of a slow pitch over home plate. Like not phenomenal.
Yeah. And I remember another one that was for PlayStation.
Okay.
Had Master Blaster on it. Remember this one? I think it was Master Blaster. Maybe it's called something else.
Was it perchance Blasto?
Blasto, yes.
Hell yeah, David.
It looked like the Captain Quark type guy.
He did. I also had this demo disc.
And Toomba was on there.
Toomba was on there.
Toomba was on there. That was a fun demo. And there's like some like top-down bullet hell spaceship game on there as well, I think. That demo disc was fire, bro. It was
I wonder what
flames.
that must have shipped with something that was commonplace, because I also had that one.
I don't remember, but I remember what it looked like. It was black with red stripes on it.
Yeah, so let's see. We had Blasto, Tekken 3, Hot Shots Golf, and Gran Turismo were the ones on there.
Tekken 3. Yep.
Interactive CD sampler disc. What a fucking mouthful.
Where did you even get it from? Like, why did I have this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where did this ship from? From Pizza Hut. Is what the internet says.
That checks out for the 90s.
Yeah, that might track, actually.
Really checks out.
Where did these come from?
They were just... I feel like it just appeared one day, honestly. That's what it feels like. It came down from heaven.
Anyway, yeah, I also have the same memory of that one. I think there was... let me see. I had a demo also for PlayStation 1, I believe. Yeah, it must have been a PlayStation Underground thing, because I had one for this game called Fighting Force that I demoed and played a lot.
Fighting Force.
Yeah, I forced my dad to go buy it for me from GameStop. I just complained about it for hours and hours and hours, and eventually took me over there. All while saying the game you wanted was Fighting Horse. He knew it was Fighting Force. He just wanted to say Fighting Horse, which by today's standards, I think is actually pretty funny.
That is a classic Rabalbi joke right there. Classic. You want to fighting horse? So
yeah, that was the demo disc that stood out to me. And then also, of course, the currently in production Haunted PS1 demo disc. Love their work. They're all, did I tell you they're putting on Eek 3? I think that just dropped today.
Eek 3?
Yeah, it's their E3 presence.
Damn. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, shouts out to the Haunted demo disc community. They seem very cool. love their games.
Thank you, Chase. Very cool.
Do you want to move on to our main thing, David?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello, David. Welcome
Hello,
back.
Chase. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
We're gonna do a good games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just wanted to spring that on you. Definitely no preparation needed.
Spring it on me.
I'll spring
Like
it on
the spring spirit of Podtimism? Is that you?
you. Hey, it's me. I dated Chase, and also I'm weird.
I'm getting kind of Danny DeVito vibes from this spirit.
Maybe I'm an old one. You never know. Hey.
Okay, you can stop. I regret this.
Release me from this prison.
I release you.
Thank you. Hey, we're doing good games. It's a segment where we talk about all the games of yesteryear, remember all the things that we love about them, and just podtimistically talk about these fucking video games.
These fucking games.
These video games. Typically, I guess for listeners who are a little bit newer, perhaps, typically we will talk about okay games. We'll try and find the fun in them, which is definitely a thing we do.
Yep.
But recently, and sort of frequently, I would say, I've been talking about just like some fucking bangers of games, and we're going to talk about another one that's a little bit older, definitely a banger, a really good video game. It is called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
Turts in time, baby.
Turts in time. Welcome. It's time for those turtles to go in and out of time. Damn, this video game, dude. God
It's
damn.
so good.
You were saying that this is something that should have been included on the SNES Classic.
Yeah, I realize it's probably like a licensing issue of some sort, but it really was one of the games I was looking forward to the most on it, and it wasn't on there, which made me very sad. Made me very sad, boy.
Yeah.
But with the power of hacking,
Anything's
turtles are
possible.
back on the menu, baby.
You wouldn't download a turtle.
I would definitely download a turtle.
I would download a turtle if I could. Before we get too far into this segment, David, let me hit you with a few hot stats about Turtles in Time.
Hit me, baby.
Hot stats.
So this game, Turtles in Time, came out in two places, notably. The first place it came out was in arcades in March of 1991. You could play all four of the Turtles on that one. It also came out for the Super Nintendo, August 15th of 1992. So about a year afterwards, after it had been in arcades for a little bit. I think I played this on SNES before I played it in arcades.
Yeah, same.
I was certainly not old enough to be operating an arcade cabinet, but I was certainly old enough to be holding a SNES controller. So yeah, this game was made by Konami. You love them, you hate them, can't live without them.
Yeah, can't live without them. Turning Metal Gear Solid into pachinko machines. Can't live without them.
I was going to mention that, but you beat me around that corner, David. Well done.
First thing I think of now.
I know, me too. Unfortunately enough. So a lot of the folks who worked on this one were at Konami before, and they had worked on the previous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, which was like kind of similar in concept. It was just a beat 'em up, but I think a little bit less well executed, perhaps. The art wasn't quite as good, and I think it just was a little bit. It is the Turtles in Time is the superior of the two of them, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But anyway, you've heard of games made by Konami before. They've made your Metal Gear Solids, your Castlevanias, your Bach Ties, The Sun Is in Your Hands, your Zone of Enders, your Coded Arms. I didn't know about this one.
Oh.
For the PSP.
Ooh, a stain.
I like remember Coded Arms a lot. I don't know if I remember fondly, but I remember Coded Arms.
I remember it because they shot for the moon, and I respect that.
Yeah, hell yeah. We should talk about Coded Arms at some point.
I think so.
And also your Silent Hills. So they were big in the gaming sphere. Definitely a like Japanese centric sort of game design philosophy for a while there, and a lot of those games I fucking love. Good Konami video games. But yeah, like you said, they do a fair bit of pachinko themed around Metal Gear Solid now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have a review from the outlet Honest Gamers.
Whoa.
That reviewed Turtles in Time. I have...
Is that implying that most gamers are liars?
Lying gamers. We're the only honest gamers. They reviewed this game. I have run it through Google Translate many times through many different languages and spat it back out in English. And we will now see the mangled form of what they had to say originally. Honest Gamers said, "This can be a problem for all sports. It looks good on paper. You can choose between two players, player lifetime. You can change difficult steps and small things. These are just the icing on the cake. Sadly, that cake is small and has become stale over time.
Oh.
The plumber's age is good, so is the hedgehog, obviously, but the tortoise will not. 7.5 out of 10 from Honest Gamers.
The plumber's age is good. So is the hedgehog's. Turtles, no.
Will not.
Turtles age poorly. It's known.
This one is interesting because you can kind of, if you just kind of scratch at the surface, you can almost see what they were saying there.
It was the most coherent.
Yeah.
Especially the cake bit was surprisingly coherent. That made it too.
That was mostly a sentence.
Oh man, we gotta check Google's latest updates for this. They're maybe ruining our segment.
They're getting better. They're getting better at translating. Go back to the shitty version. So yeah, they thought it was pretty good. I think by and large, the reviews were mostly positive on this game. People were definitely into it.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. David, would you be able to explain to me what this video game is?
Oh yeah. So
Please.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
Starring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Leonardo, I believe. It's a side-scrolling, weapon-based beat-em-up.
Yeah, that's true.
You can jump, you can kick, you can use your respective weapon per turtle that you choose.
Yeah.
You beat up waves of thugs and bosses in different levels. So each level has, you go through, you walk through, you beat up the enemies, and in the end there's a boss. And you fight them. You can play with friends. Actually, encouraged to play with a friend for sure.
It's definitely a better
that
game.
way. And then there is the added time fuckery element of it, where you travel through time to different eras and get to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in different times, which is rad. It's
Very
great.
cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
But that's it, I think, in a nutshell. You have anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, you the first couple levels are kind of normal. Like you're like fighting in New York and stuff like that. But then Shredder yeets you back in time and you go back to like dinosaur era and then like pirate time. And then I think it's like sort of like Western timeline. God, the levels are just so much fucking
so
fun.
good. The detail and their ability to make you they really sold it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They really sold
absolutely.
the time skipping element of it, made you believe it.
Yeah, totally. Before we get too far into gushing, can I ask you who your main is in Turtles in Time?
It's the sword boy.
I believe Leonardo. Yes, Leonardo is the sword-based friend.
I'm always a sword boy.
Interesting, nice. That's good.
What about you?
I'm a big Donatello guy.
He's
Big
the
Donatello.
staff man, right?
He's a bow staff. I think we've mentioned this before that like I'm a bow staff guy through and through.
The bow staff was always my second option.
It feels good. I like that he was kind of like the inventor of the group. I don't know why as a little kid that spoke to me.
He likes smart people.
I think so. And he was like respected for it within the group. Mm-hmm. They're like, hell yeah. Like Michelangelo's like kind of dumb. And so is Raphael. They're like kind of goofier dudes. But like Donatello's like smart as fuck. And they're like, okay, I'm cool with that. That's good. Yeah, big fan of that. I just remembered when we were talking about doing co-op that unfortunately enough, I made my mom play this game with me. Like I just forced her to play TMNT because it's like, it's much easier if you play with two people.
Yeah.
And just like I was so young. I had to have been like 5 or 6 or something. And I was getting so frustrated that she was not able to like pilot the TMNT characters as well as I wanted her to. Like she would always do the like jump and dive move, the like air attack. And like it doesn't do very much damage. But man, Jan was a big fan.
You remember what move she was doing.
I was very frustrated.
Man, that's really stuck with you. Man,
I've never stopped.
You're still frustrated to this day.
I know.
That's actually why you went back to Sacramento. You had to clear the air with Mom.
Mom!
You were burning.
I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you about those old moves.
I've been burning for 25 years, Jan.
But I forgive you.
Yeah.
And in turn, forgive myself.
I've been burning for a quarter cent over here.
Let's talk about what was great about Turtles in Time, because there is a lot to say.
There is.
What would you like to start with? What was your most memorable thing about Turtles in Time?
I mean, probably the most memorable was just playing it with my cousins and just having a blast as a child.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great co-op game, right? Because you can't hurt each other.
Yeah.
Co-op games where you can hurt each other back in this day, tough. Final
Dangerous.
fight, I killed my buddy so many times. I just beat the shit out of him with my giant Russian wrestler so often. It's so hard to tell where my hitbox was going to hit. Ninja Turtles, you're good.
Not a problem.
You can really work together that way, right? So you don't have to worry about hurting your friend. Next thing that I remember is the speed with which you get to move around.
It's fast. Yeah, it's a pretty fast brawler.
It's a fast brawler, and you just move quickly. Like, there are a lot of games like this where you move super slow, like up and down the screen or side to side.
That's true.
One, you're scooting, you jump high, you move quick. You have good control over your character. You can like get to your spot that you want to be in easily, and it's clear where you are and where you're going to hit. So I think that's excellent.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that because like in Final Fight, it's slow. In what is it, Streets of Rage? I played this like a couple of years ago. Even the new one, like it's a pretty slow game, and I think that's probably on purpose. Like, that's intentful at this point. But yeah, damn, it was like, I think there's a run in Turtles in Time. Like, I think if you just double tap the left or right, like you can move pretty quick.
There's a run. There's like a running attack you can do, or like a running like somersault you can do.
Oh yeah.
So they really play up the speed of these Ninja Turtles.
That's true. I hadn't noticed it, but you're right that like the controls of it really do make it feel very like fast and visceral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and compared to other games at the time especially.
Yeah,
it
true.
felt very quick.
Without like, I will say like something that I think a lot of these like beat 'em ups do pretty well, and something in other games that is such a challenge is like the enemies don't necessarily hurt you if you just touch them. I think that's really important for a game where you can go very quickly. Like, they have to like swing their punch at you before you get hit, versus like if you were able to sprint and move this well, and also you just like got hurt if you touched one of the like, God, what are they called? The like foot soldiers, the dudes like that you're fighting. That would be not as nearly as satisfying as just being able to like run across the screen, and then if they hit you, it's like, oh, okay, well, they were punching. I shouldn't have run up on them right then.
Exactly. Those are the main things that I remember that were really great about the game for me. What about you? Anything stick out?
Oh my God, so much of this fucking video game, David. This was like absolutely my shit. I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid. I would like rent the VHSs from Blockbuster over and over again.
Oh damn!
Just to like watch the little like episodes of them. So good, so into it. Video games, obviously. If it is not clear that I like video games at this point, I don't know what we're doing.
What are you doing here?
So that was cool for me. And then just like beat 'em ups, being able to have like a really fun time as a young dude without like, you know, I didn't have to like read a shitload because I was like 4 or 5, you know, like I knew how to press the buttons, but I wasn't able to like grok how to play Final Fantasy yet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go fight the foot soldiers. So that was great for me. Let me take you down a little road real quick though.
Let's hear it.
The music in this video game, David. I know that this is something that we do pretty often, is gush about music, but I gotta talk about the music in this fucking video game.
All right, let's hear it.
These songs, David, they are unreal. Okay, let's start here. Okay, so first of all, they announce every level in this like compressed as fuck voice, which I just love. It's nearly unintelligible. Okay, so let's take a listen to a couple of these. I'm going to edit these in so we can listen along with the people at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to start with Big Apple 3 AM, which is the first level.
Yeah.
Big Apple 3 AM.
Total bop. Immediately. So they're playing off the TMNT theme song in this one. It's mostly just the theme song, which like really gets you in the mood to just like be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a little while.
Oh yeah.
It's got so much driving force in here. Like it's moving so quickly.
That drum. Do get back to back to back turtle time.
Just very good. So that one's really, really good. I'm really into that. And like that sets a very good tone for the whole thing. Let's go to Alley Cat Blues, which is like not it doesn't really play with the theme quite as much. Funk.
Bluesy, baby.
So much funk and blues in this. It makes me feel undefeatable, this music. Also, like, pause for a second. That like sound that is coming out of the the Super Nintendo sound chip, the like, I have no idea how they're making that sound. I haven't heard it in any other video game, nor would I hear ever again. Like, listen,
what instrument is it supposed to be? Even
I guess like maybe a bass or something. Hold on, listen.
Let's hear it. Yeah. I guess, yeah, bass guitar. Man, that part is definitely ingrained in my brain.
Absolutely. Okay, let's take a peek over to Sewer Surfin'. Another absolute bop. The like arpeggios that are going on in the background.
Ow, my toe! God, dude, I hit those tacks in the water so many times as a kid. Could not handle it.
It is so like candy optimistic, this music. Like there is no hint that you are going to be defeated in this music.
No, absolutely not. There's no danger in this game.
No.
You're just an unstoppable turtle killing machine.
I love that. Incredible.
So good.
Also, I would like to call out specifically the boss music that happens every time. This is at the end of every single level. Absolute bop. It's like, it's so fast, the tempo in this song. Like, listen to the drum fills just like barely keeping up. Flying. Okay, so there's a couple of levels. Techno Drums like Let's Kick Shell is fine. It's like a fine song. It's a video game song. Pretty good, right? Fine song.
Yeah.
Little electric guitar. That's fine. So there's the songs, like after this level you get sent back into time. All of them I will say are pretty good. They all feel like the time, right? Let's do Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. See how that goes. Feels like dinosaur music.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's that bass line.
That's all of these are pretty good. The like Western song, it's got a great trot, of course.
Yeah, you gotta have that gallop going.
Absolutely, because there are horses in this song.
There are horses, everybody. There are horses.
Let me direct you to Neon Knight Riders. This sounds like a song that was in Persona 5 that has been made on a SNES sound chip.
Yeah. They came forward in time to Persona 5.
This is the soundtrack to me pushing up my glasses before I do something cool.
This is the soundtrack to a window that has been open just a little bit ajar during a hot summer night.
Before you're about to save the world as the Phantom Thieves. Really good. Such a vibe. I love this song. Also, Starbase Where No Turtle Has Gone Before. Even farther in the future. Another one.
Just the long, prolonged...
It's so ridiculous. So this one's playing a little bit with the theme again. The like TMNT
from the beginning.
And this is the song right before you fight Shredder. Unbelievable. Still, like, there's a little bit of like strife and challenge in here, but like, I still feel undefeatable listening to this.
It's still swelling to something positive.
Yes. And then Technodrum, the final shell shock. This is where you go and fight Shredder. This is lovely.
This is
What a
this is
lovely song.
Huh?
It's like, this one is the most dissonant that a song has been yet, and it's still just a total banger.
It's true.
That like riff, that like wang 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 wang, is so cool. It's so fucking cool. Like, you're definitely fighting Shredder. It's intimidating, but like, also, maybe you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It's a little
and like,
spooky,
there's
but you're gonna win.
I love this soundtrack.
Pretty damn good.
That's just a true thing. Yeah, so much of it just sounds so good to me. And like, I think for me, like, something I had thought about was that this game felt like I didn't ever want to stop playing it. Mm-hmm. I had to get to the next level. There's some like beat 'em ups where I'm like, whew, okay, that was a lot in that last one.
No,
but
I
like,
just want to keep playing this one.
Yeah, like you get to the next one, that the next fucking song fires up, and you're like, ooh, I gotta go fight Shredder though.
Yeah.
This is exciting. And I think that's in no small part due to the music. It was made by Matsuhiko Izumi, I believe. Mm-hmm. This dude like worked on a ton of video game music, and I think still does, like just prolific in the amount of video game music that he's doing. But so yeah, good God, just the music is so fucking good.
Nice.
Something that I want to call out while we're here, the cover art. Look at the box art for this video
I was
game.
about to say, I always love it when there is both a T-Rex, a pirate ship, and a locomotive all in the same thing. And a spaceship, and the Statue of Liberty, and a hoverboard.
And there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on a hoverboard. Yeah.
On a hoverboard. There's a lot going on in this cover art. You're right.
Also, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are like frighteningly jacked.
They're scary. They're scary in this.
Like they're so yoked in here.
Like, I'd be terrified if I saw one of these creatures.
A lot of teeth on these things.
Yeah, they're smiling in the way that like gorillas smile, when it's actually a threat.
Yeah,
you know?
Your life may be ending shortly, but they're fighters for good.
Exactly.
Which is so nice.
Yeah, this box art is kind of peak 90s in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in like not a kitschy or like retro way, just like it's got a lot going on and it all feels really good.
But it all makes sense. They're turtles, then they're in time. The swirl
it's like a big
time.
like galaxy swirling around the Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because the conceit of the story is that Shredder steals the Statue of Liberty.
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
April O'Neil's there and the Statue of Liberty just goes away because them big like jacked dude in armor like flies up and just like takes it away.
I forget the name of the enemy, but it's like the dude who's controlled by that little like brain monster who's like in the big guy's stomach.
Oh God. Wow. That is quite a memory.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's really good. I love the music and the box art. It's both very good. I thought that the conceit of like moving through time was a really, really good idea. Because like the 4 first levels are like kind of similar. Like the first 2 are like New York, and then the third one is the little underground sewer area.
Yep.
You go and fight in Shredder's Technodrome, and then you get yeeted back in time, and suddenly it's a very different video game.
Yeah.
Like they were able to make each of these levels feel so specific and like unique. That if you didn't know each of the levels, it was like, holy shit, what's next? I have no idea. Which is just like, it's so fun to like process that through, especially if like you haven't played in a while, you don't remember exactly which one's next. It's just so much fun for me. So that was great. I thought the boss design was pretty fun too. Like most of the bosses are like from the show, which is fun, and like each of them play a little bit differently. The initial fight with Shredder, he's like just shooting shit at you, and you have to do this like specific attack where you throw the foot soldiers at the camera to hit him. I think it's like if you're attacking them and you're pressing forward at the same time, you'll like grab them and throw them at the camera.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, I was like, I have no fucking idea how to do this, but
yeah,
I thought it was pretty fun. Like if you sort of like knew what you were doing, I thought that was a really cool idea. And then like obviously all the other ones where the bad guys are dressed up as like dinosaurs or as like pirates or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's all very good.
Very cool. Very cute in a way.
You had mentioned the co-op being really fun. I totally agree, and like it's worth calling out too that it's also very fun in the arcade. I think this was a big Chuck E. Cheese game, if I remember correctly.
Chucky had this quite a bit.
Mr. Charles Entertainment Cheese had a corner on this one. Yeah, it was so much fun to be able to like have the full squad rolling around in there.
Come and roll in with a roll of quarters. We getting through Turt the time, baby. Let's go.
There was a a day that I'm sure Garen would be mad if I didn't mention. But we had this, like, at the house that I lived at with Jazz, there was a, I guess, like, arcade cabinet that we had built.
Oh, yeah.
We were just running like a MAME emulator in there. And Garrett and I sat in front of Turtles in Time for like probably like an hour and a half. It wasn't very long, but just like stood there and beat the game. Deeply, deeply satisfying. So much fun.
Great game.
If I remember correctly, it was like the middle of summer, so it was just hot as all get out. In the like sunroom that we had that thing in, it would just like bake in there in more ways than one.
Hey.
We joke.
Be legit.
That
was a wild time.
that was a weird time. So yeah, I played this game to completion. It was so much fun. I every time I play this game, I'm just like overjoyed with how good it is.
Every time it puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I've just been gushing about how great everything is. I kind of want to pull something out that's maybe a little bit less obvious. I think your point about the controls was really like apt though. I think that is like something that is a little bit harder to pin down.
Yeah.
Especially in like these beat 'em up genres. I think it's something that is kind of taken for granted that like you kind of have to move slow. But I think this game was not afraid to make you feel a little overpowered. And I always love that in a video game.
Yeah, I'm
where
okay
they're
with
like,
that.
It's fine if you can just kick ass.
Yeah.
Like that's totally a valid way to play this game. I think like we were saying before, where Hades sometimes just gives you a build that you're like, wow, untouchable. Yeah. You know, it definitely costs you some quarters to play through it, but there's a lot of the time where you're just like, yeah, I'm just hauling ass. I'm kicking ass. Which is, it's great. It's hard to accomplish and hard to make the player feel like that, but I'm always excited and satisfied when they do.
Totally. Yeah, you know, I think if I'm really picking hairs, knitting at some picks, probably I would like to see just like a little bit more variety in the attacks. You know, because it really is only like one attack button, right? Maybe like a little bit more individuation in like how the different turtles attack with their different weapons, or like special moves or something like that.
Sure.
Or maybe even like team moves.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know, like depending on who you're playing with, what other turtle you're playing with, you could do like a special combo move or something. That would be
sure.
Tight. Maybe that's going to be in the sequel that's coming out soon.
I was just about to say, yeah, we haven't mentioned yet, but this is in no small part been spurred on by the Shredder's Revenge Teenage Ninja Turtles game coming out. I
better be going through time again.
I don't know. We'll see. They say nothing about time in this one, but I just hope it's fun. I feel like there's so much room to make that game fun.
Yeah, there is. It's a great groundwork. It's still fun. The original is still fun.
Yeah, it's shocking. I am very excited for that game in whatever, you know, thing they want to bring to it. I'm excited that they seem to have like nailed the like tone of the first game, like just the backgrounds and all the like New York, the 90s New Yorkisms, 80s New Yorkisms that are like around is just very fun. Yeah, I agree. I think like there's a lot of room to improve, and I think, you know, because it came out at this point like 30 years ago, some of those things are glaring, but I think it is impressive that like there's still so much to love. Like this game is so much older, and there's so many games that have aged so poorly from that timeline.
Right? It's not like the game did anything bad. It's just like it could have done more things. It could have done more things when you look at how modern beat 'em ups have evolved. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And like that's certainly not to take away from what they accomplished. It's to say, well, if you're gonna do it again, like here's what you could do. But like
exactly,
that would have been some like future sight sort of shit.
Yeah, they wouldn't have known to
time
do that
walkers.
They don't call it Turtles in Time for nothing. Developers in time.
Yeah. No, this game is fucking phenomenal. Do you have anything else to say about it? I feel like we've been doing a fair bit of gush.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I love this game. Not hard to find podtimistic things to say about it.
I love this game, and it's not platonic.
No, certainly not.
Not even close.
This game and David have kissed
on more than one occasion. Thank you.
On the lips.
On the lips.
Where is its humor gland? David found out.
So that's a third date kind of information right there.
David does not kiss and tell. No. He does not turtle and tell.
Turtle and tell. I don't turt and tell. Having fun calling them turts today.
Turt and tell is my favorite Las Vegas magician duo.
Turt and
tell.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Well, that's a joke.
That's definitely a joke, baby.
That is a joke. Okay, cool. Do you have anything else to say about Turtles in Time?
That's it.
Great.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
We're on Twitter
We are.
at Podtimism.
Yes,
At Podtimism.
that's where we are.
That's where we are. Tweet us. Let us know if you loved Turtles in Time as much as we did. Who did you play as? Who did you play
Yeah,
with?
I want to hear mains. I want to hear who people main.
Did you play in the arcade? Did you play at home? What was your experience?
Did you not play? I would love to hear that too.
Did you not play? Why did you not play? Do you hate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Why?
Does Raphael just give you the ickies?
Does he give you the ickies?
Does Splinter being the master of turtles kind of freak you out?
That's
I get that.
weird. But
He's a
it's
rat.
New York, so I mean, the rats do kind of run the show, right?
Especially one's named Splinter.
Splinter the rat.
A named rat.
Unnamed.
A bipedal.
I am a named rat.
Do you think... I don't know the lore of TMNT. Do you think there's other rats out there? Was he exposed to that like green goo that turned the turtles into the Teenage
That's
Mutant Ninja
what
Turtles?
I thought.
Also, did you know that in Europe it's called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles?
They're not ninjas,
No, just heroes.
but they're like totally stealthy and ninja-like, and they have those bandanas.
But they're also heroes, so like it's not
I mean, they're not wrong.
totally off base, but like
It's just not as cool.
I wonder what was going on in Europe that they were like, no, we cannot name them ninjas. They have to be heroes.
Yeah, there's some weird localization going on there.
It's like the same language.
Yeah.
Like England and the States. It's all
Oh, it's
English,
like
baby.
UK is does it that way?
I just said Europe, so I assume UK is in there.
Weird. It's fucking British. They don't know anything
A
about
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Ninjas, no thank you.
ninjas. If you're from Europe, send us an email at vgpoptimism@gmail.com and let us know why it got changed to Hero Turtles.
Yeah, what's the context there? Do you not like ninjas?
Yeah.
Is that not a cool thing?
Just know that you probably will not be successful in convincing us that it's a better name, because it's not.
Yeah, I don't know how you would. Some like Knights of the Round Table shit over there. Like they all need to be like heroes
Yeah.
of old.
We are the heroes of the Ninja Turtles. Anyways. Also, if you want to help us out,
Yes.
leave us a review.
Yes.
Be nice, maybe. Or not be nice.
Or don't. That's okay too.
Follow your heart.
Yeah.
Follow your heart. That's what we
We're
really
not
care
here to
about.
tell you how to live.
Yeah. And you also like subscribe or follow us or whatever it is that you can do on your podcast.
Or just shout out your window.
Or just shout us
Hey.
out.
Or maybe don't shout out your window. Maybe that might be rude in your neighborhood, but like
Exactly.
say something nice
I mean,
in your morning affirmations. Like,
yeah.
and this is you speaking in the mirror. Like I'm bold, I'm beautiful. And also I hope Video Game Podtimism does well today.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for, I'm really glad that we made it
Seems-
into your affirmations in the morning.
That seems so egotistical. I'm sorry, listeners.
that took a dark turn.
Feels terrible. Just like incorporate us into part of your life,
Yeah.
your life rituals.
Yeah.
That ain't it. That ain't it, Chief.
Or, just let another like-minded friend know about our podcast and let them listen, make up their own
True.
mind, see if they like it.
True. It's also a thing you can do. I've been being called a ding boy more often on the internet now, so
I mean, you are a ding boy, though.
I am a ding boy, so it's not unapt or inappropriate, but
Let us know if you want ding boy shirts, everybody. Tweet us.
Oh no. Oh god.
It's just a picture of Chase's face that says
Just
ding over
watching
it.
ding with like some numbers going up on the side of the shirt. Progression.
That sweet, sweet, slow drip of serotonin. And then also
thanks.
Yeah, also thank you for spending time with us.
It's the best that anybody listens to this podcast at all.
And then
that's
can
very
call Chase
cool.
a ding boy online.
Yeah, I'm reaping what I've sown. Yeah, thanks for spending your ear minutes here with us.
Yeah.
We deeply appreciate it with you spending any amount of time here. We know that there are plenty of things demanding your time, and you spending some of it with us is the best.
Very flattering.
It is the best. Yeah, incredible. Phenomenal. We love you and support you. End of sentence.
That's it. Bye.
Wait, gaming wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Gaming wisdom. Chase.
Yes.
Do you
Invite
have
me
any?
in. Oh,
I was
yeah.
giving you the mic.
Oh, sure. Wow, it's really hot and my brain is not working.
It's getting warm in my pod closet, too.
Okay, so for gaming wisdom, I got a couple of things to say. Sometimes you are going to be approached with problems that makes it feel like you've been sent back into the dinosaur era, into the Jurassic period.
Oh.
You're going to have taken such a hit that it really feels like you're going back in time with your progress in your life. And I know that that's hard. You were so close to beating Shredder and getting the Statue of Liberty back. But when faced with such adversity, I think it's important to ask yourself what the turtles would do. And I think in this situation, the turtles would beat the ever-loving fuck out of the bad guys and fight back to Shredder and make the world right.
They do solve their problems with violence.
Yeah, so maybe X-nay the violence part and just like beat up the emotional demons in your life to get forward. Beat the ever-loving fuck out of your emotional demons to beat up emotional Shredder.
Instructions unclear. I have now just beat the shit out of myself. What do I do now?
I guess go to therapy. I think that's probably
a good point.
A pretty fair next step.
That should help.
I think that'll do it, right? I think that'll fix everybody's problems.
Just go to therapy. If you don't,
I mean, like,
if you fail at beating up your own demons, go to therapy.
Even if you don't fail at beating them up, I think go to therapy.
Exactly, right? It's true.
Okay, hold on. Playing Turtles in Time alone is like not going to therapy. Playing Turtles in Time co-op is like going to therapy.
Whoa.
You still gotta fight, but you got somebody in your corner
Got some
that's making it a
backup.
lot easier.
Cheap therapy. Turts in time.
No, I meant the reverse. It's a metaphor. If you go to therapy, it's gonna feel like you're playing co-op Turtles in Time.
Chase,
if
I'm
you're not.
not going to therapy. I'm getting Turtles in Time and playing it with a stranger.
And that is your therapy.
That's my therapy.
I think that'll probably fix it, right? Anywho, so like, yeah, podcast done, I think, right?
I think so.
Cool. Here's a joke about the old one, and we're done.
Okay, the old one.
Ha ha ha. Okay, great. We love you. Bye.
Bye.